Rogers TV.
And welcome everyone to the Durham Community Center Jr.B Lacrosse, the first home game of the season for the Owen Sound North Stars as they take on the winless Welland Raiders. Spencer Byerson alongside me as always, Steve McCarthy. And Steve, Owen Sound has played 5 away games. They're 3-2 on the season. Welland 0-6 as just previously mentioned, and a big weekend coming up with Welland tonight, which should be a big win. And then tomorrow against the Northmen, a team they are fighting with hotly in the middle of their division.
Yeah, the Orangeville will be a tough foe, and you can't take anything for granted tonight, so they'll certainly have to bear down and play their game against Welland, and if they do that, they should come away victorious.
They do have 2 wins on the bounce coming into tonight down in Windsor and Wallaceburg. Their 2 losses coming down at Six Nations and at Elora, so not like their losses are coming to 2 non-heavyweights. Those are 2 very good lacrosse clubs that have been good for years previous, especially Elora.
Yeah, it looks like Six Nations, the Rebels are back at it this year with a good squad. They're 4-0, I think, to start the season. And Elora, you know, the defending Founder Cup champions, and they'll certainly have just an unbelievable history there, and they look like they're right back to where they were, where they left the season off as champions.
They are introducing each individual player here, as it is the home opener for the Jr.B North Stars.
Number 4, Taylor Brown. Number 5, Jordan Cochran. West Ray Minor Lacrosse affiliate player number 6, Colby Ray. Number 7, Ryan Franny. Number 9, Nolan McVicker.
So with JC Coots, colleague on Rogers TV, doing the player intros here in Durham, we will get a chance to talk about some of the hot performers through 5 games for Owen Sound, because just a quick scan of the Owen Sound stat sheet, Steve, shows you Carter Moran continues to dominate at the Jr.B level. 14 goals in those 5 games, 26 points, puts him on the leaderboard for top point getter. Nate Laycock's got 11 goals and 18 points through 5 games. And one of their young guys, former AP last year, I was going to go with Ryan Craney. It's actually Noah Couples, who is a new player to the team, was not on the team last year, in 3 games, has 9 goals and 12 points. So definitely some good goal scoring on the Owen Sound North Star side. You almost could say, though, Steve, they have the same problem the Senior Bees have, which is the distribution of goals is slanted to a couple of guys.
Yeah, but I think you'll find they acquired Sly Sundown, who has only, I think, been in 2 games so far, and he potted a couple goals in both games that he's appeared in. So, and he's a big, tall player on the left side. He'll give Carter Moran a bit of a break, pulling the load over on that way. So, and they'll certainly like to see Lone Wickens back in the lineup once he recovers from a little bit of an injury right now. So that'll certainly help solidify them up front and then balance out that scoring on the right side.
Now, another guy we haven't mentioned yet, Everest Lone Wickens. He actually has been being able to play for the Brampton Excelsior in the Junior A, as well as for Owen Sound here at the Junior B. So he's also dealing with, I believe, some sort of injury, we were told pre-game. But even with that, his availability might also be up to his availability for the Junior A program there in Brampton.
Yeah, I don't think you get a lot of conflicts with the Junior A. Typically plays a lot of their games midweek, whereas this is not exclusively a weekend league, but more travel required sometimes in Junior B, so they do have probably a weekend schedule or a Thursday night. So we'll see how that works out, but I'm sure he's looking forward to getting an opportunity to play on both teams.
We'll also mention that after his last season ended in the playoffs, I saw quite a few of the guys out in public, and all of them kept telling me next year is the year, Spencer. Next year is our window, because again, if you may not know, I'll say midget, but the U18 North Stars won their championship. And a lot of those guys are on this team and are becoming onto this team. And I know a lot of them are seeing that as their chance here to push this Jr.B program that way, just as they did as, I believe, a U18 program.
Yeah, I think there were, the U or U17s, what was midget lacrosse before that became not midget lacrosse.
Before it became all numericalized.
But nonetheless, they certainly have a lot of good talent coming up through that. It sometimes takes a couple years to realize them once they hit the junior level and start playing against, guys that are almost men at up to 21 years of age. So, but they've certainly done a great job cultivating local talent and sprinkling in some out-of-towners. And they're certainly more than competitive, and they'll probably give anybody a good game on any given night this season.
We'll also mention, as you see there, the West Grey Rampage hanging out with the Jr.B North Stars here tonight. Obviously here in Durham, the West Grey Rampage are their local lacrosse affiliate. So it's always nice to see the North Stars getting involved in the local development programs. There's hopefully a lot of these kids will play for Owen Sound at the Jr.B level or what have you.
Yeah, it's great to get the kids involved and make them feel a part of the big boy club here. And all accounts, they took part in warm-up, had the largest array of ball boys we've probably ever seen in this arena, and they did a crack job not letting the balls flow down to the opposition end. So good on them.
And we will now go to the national anthem here in Durham as we get ready for the home opener of the Jr.B season.
I'm not sure who that young man is, but he did a whale of a job with the national anthem.
That he did. Doesn't look older than, what, maybe 10?
His scalp just reaches the top of the board. So, yeah, he's...
Well, I'm just thinking, because I'm obviously vertically challenged now. So when I was a youth, I was very vertically challenged. So I'm bad at guessing age. That young man could be 8. That kid could be 12. Because I was probably as tall as I was when I was about 12. Because again, I'm not much taller than I was then as I am now at my hulking 5'4". That's without the hair, might I add. And one thing I am going to make an observation here of, Steve, you mentioned Sly Sundown as a new member of the Owen Sound North Stars. Him standing in that huddle wearing orange, he looks massive compared to some of the other guys.
Yeah, I think he's in that neighborhood, 6'5", 6'6".
As a Jr.B athlete.
Yeah. So yeah, there's certainly a great acquisition there, and I'm sure he'll put up great numbers here in Owen Sound.
Again, already got 8 points in 2 games, 4 goals. Starting netminder there for Welland looks to be Alexander Tomic. And his adversary in Owen Sound's net will be Jacob Flooney. The former AP has now graduated into the Jr.B program. You see the numbers there for Tomic. Him and backup Caius Lalonda have appeared, I believe, basically every game this season between the two of them. And I mean, as in, I think they've all played in both sets of games. You see there, the Owen Sound Midwest Division, they are 3-2, just ahead of the Northmen, while they have 2 undefeated teams currently in both Cambridge as well as Elora, and they've already played Elora. As Moran with possession after the Thompson win. Slice Sundown, nice move. Trying to find an angle, had to be roped off. 8 seconds off from the shot clock, gives it up to Moran. Moran will fire, that's a good save. Ball comes loose, and Moran whacked it to the corner, but couldn't get a hold of it. Holden Stevenson went to play pursuit. They hold it up, and that will be swept right into the goalie's crease.
Yeah, in that first offensive possession, you get an idea of Sundown's athletic ability and stick skills. He just about walked in all alone, but well defended.
Joey Young plays it off. Laid down low for Young. Got about 8 seconds left to work here. Leading point getter right now for the Raiders is Joey Young. That shot saved there by Flooney. Got caught in his feet, and it is retrieved by Welland. Kind of, I'll say eerie save there by Flooney. Not convincing, you could say, on the first one.
Yeah.
That ball played around again there by the green shirts. That shot through a pick, good save there. That one more convincing, and it's retrieved by McVicker. Now played off for Carter Moran, the captain. Right in front, that's a good shot by Laycock, but a better save.
Yeah, nice little two-man game with the pick and roll, and he found a lane to the net, and a great save by the goaltender.
Young fires through a couple different screens there as it's picked up after the Flooney save. Elliot Thompson will not hand it back off for Carter Moran, and the offense will go back to work. Hutchinson gave it off, and Morrison couldn't handle it. There is no over and back here in Jr.B, so he is able to retrieve it. Morrison will shoot that one right into the chest protector there. Fired forward, it was a wide open Raider, but just couldn't catch it. Now he's Jacob Cook there inside the offensive zone. Callan Bennett now gave it off. That shot from the top of the key, right off the post, and it flutters out. Very spread out right now are the Raiders. Played right across, and good defense there by, that looked to be Ethan Kerr. Force up now against the boards go the Raiders. That shot saved by Flooney right into the corner and immediately into the stick there of Owen Miller.
Yeah, real good possession here by Welland, so they can just might want to try to get working inside.
And that one also goes off the post. Another bullet there by Callan Bennett.
Yeah, they've established a real good perimeter game here, moving the ball and getting some looks from the outside. But again, to be successful long term, they're going to want to be able to, at the very least, hit back cutters and get inside there. They can't live from outside the dotted line all night.
And they're going to blow that one. It's going to go Owen Sound's way, it looks like, as Jesse Doolittle was the one playing defense there. Played up, and our runner there is Wes Grant. Grant will get fended off and handed off for Sundown. Carter Moran. Back for Sundown. Nice move there. Diving has lost the footing as the shot was attempted there by Brock McVicker. As now Joey Young and Welland go back to work. Bennett hands it off, got met before the shot was ever attempted. That shot goes wide of Flooney. And away will come Owen Sound. Gardner Patak plays it off for Moran, and Moran will go back to work. Carter gives it off to Tyson Morrison. Morrison gets the screen from Laycock, back up for Moran. Carter down for Nate Laycock. Laycock takes the bump, takes a couple whacks for the trouble, finally fired, and it wasn't on target. Maybe you could have argued a couple high sticks in fairness to Nate there, Steve.
Yeah, he got a little plastic, but no harm, no foul, as they say. So he got a good look and just kind of ran out of real estate and couldn't get his hands coordinated to shoot off his wrong side.
And Joey Young lost his footing as he got touched, and away will come Owen Sound. McVicker. That's Nolan McVicker. Played in front. That shot by Grant. Better save. Wes Grant now fighting for it there. That shot scores, and it's Tyson Morrison with the marker.
Yeah, it didn't really look like he had a great angle there, but he did a good job reaching his stick around, creating a much better angle for himself, and dumped it under the goal, on the far side under the glove, pardon me. And you know, it's probably one of the offensive sets they've had so far. Didn't look like anything was happening. Had a couple B guys still up on the floor from their play in transition, and Morrison found the back of the net.
Morrison, one of those guys, Steve, you'd think that they want a little more goal scoring out of. He only has 5 in 5 games. But obviously, from his previous experience here at the Junior B level, it's definitely in there. He's right now 3rd on the team in scoring, a Sly Sundown. Over for Moran. Runner is Morrison off the bench. Morrison tried to weave his way in. Over now for Laycock. Laycock tried to swim through, got whacked before he ever had the attempt. Gonna have to fire here. Nice pass in front for Sundown, and scores his Sly Sundown.
Yeah.
Late in the shot clock, they get away with it.
Nice quick hands by Sundown there. Laycock kind of fumbled the ball around initially, but did a good job retrieving it and making a nice cross crease pass here. And Sundown just slid in behind his defender, who was a little ball watching there, and as you can see, quick releases in and out in the back of the net.
And just found probably the only open spot just over the shoulder there of Alexander Tomic.
Yeah, I think Welland would like to have that back, the defender there. You can't let a big guy with those kind of hands loose watching the ball late in the shot clock. You just want to take that option away.
Another face-off win there for Elliot Thompson. Very good face-off taker there for Owen Sound.
Previous North Stars goal scored by Tyson Morrison, assisted by
Moran.
number 10, Wesley.
Over now for Morrison. Morrison back for Laycock. That shot right into the wickets there of Tomic.
North Stars goal.
That ball, though, airmailed over its intended target, so an easy pick there by Calder Adams.
Assisted by
Calder will hand it off.
Laycock.
Yeah, it seemed like a pretty good pass. I'm not sure what Ryan Cranny took his eye off it, but anyways, back the other way.
The whistle will go the other way, so possession will switch. As Young now has possession. Bounced across the top. Behind the net there for Joey Young. Tries to get away, he kind of does. Played across, you'd say circle to circle there as that ball is airmailed over the net. Stick got in the way before it ever made it on target. Wes Grant will run it up the floor. 2-on-2 that way. Grant right into the stick there of Tomic. And the Raiders will get back possession.
Yeah, it wasn't really a dangerous opportunity there in transition. He probably would have been better off suited to pull it out, but as soon as I say that, he'll do the same thing again and score, so.
That shot save there by Flooney. I'm surprised.
That was a real nice shot, low side, and Flooney just flinched his leg a little bit at the last second there and got enough of it to keep it out.
I thought there was a scap there, too, to find it, but he wasn't able to. It's Ryan Cranny now. As Carter Moran now with possession. Morrison now gets the free walk. Morrison in and just could not get that one on target.
Yeah, that was clear path.
Moran right on target there, saved by Tomic. That ball again over the head, but racing for it are both teams. Met and fended into the boards there. Owentown's got 3-on-1 there.
Yeah, those are the type of plays that Welland's going to want to limit, those turnovers in transition. You just don't want to continue to give Owentown the added opportunity with the ball.
Moran. Plays it for Brock McElmoyle. McElmoyle shot in, there it is. The third one of the period, and it's Brock McElmoyle, the AP, with the marker.
Yeah, Owentown did a good job isolating McElmoyle. Had lots of room in the maneuver, only had one defender with no help, with everybody else up high. Nice little seal there, but I think it might have been Stevenson, and as it was, and I think they had 4 lefts out there on the floor, but the one righty found the ball on the stick and made good use of it as he beat his defender and had a clear path to the net.
Elliot Thompson gets that win as well, but can Owentown retrieve it? It bounces into the bench, and who touched it? They're going to say it off Owentown, so it'll be possession of the Raiders.
14, Brock McElmoyle. Assisted by number 3, Carter Moran. And number 17, Owen.
As the Raiders try to look for their first marker of the game here, about halfway through the first period. Trying to make a dash there towards the net, but fended off by Ryan Cranny. And right around it'll go, 8 seconds up from the shot clock. That one, score!
Yeah.
Just about a jump shot there by Callan Bennett will get Welland on the board.
Real nice shot, placed just underneath the glove, far side, and yeah, a little jump action on the release. But again, Welland appears to have a lot of guys with good skill level, yet their offense so far has relied totally on perimeter play, a lot of passing and looking for that outside shot. They buried one here, but nonetheless, they're gonna, they're gonna have to change it up a little bit to get in and out to, make their defenders play a little honest.
Another face-off win there for Thompson, and this time he gives it to himself just about. Right off now for Calder Adams, who will hand it off to the captain, Carter Moran, and he'll go back to work. Moran bounces it for Laycock. Laycock trying to get through his defender. He does, and a good save there. Touched it in the restricted area, so the whistle will go. Kind of worried me they weren't going to blow that for a second. As away will come Welland. Give it off now. Legault missed his intended target. That will go into the bench, so Owentown will get the possession.
Again, that's the third turnover in transition, probably in the last 4, maybe 5 possessions Welland had. So again, you just can't give the ball away. The opposition cannot score when they don't have the ball. So the longer you can keep it away from them, the better off you're going to be.
Laycock, back for Moran. Laycock will fire that one, I believe, touched the netminder. They won't give me the credit, though. Stock clock down to 8. Moran takes a whack for his trouble. He's going to pass it right in front. Missed Laycock, and away will go the Raiders. Hidalgo will play it back, and just caught there by Joey Young, who had to hop out of his shoes for that one. Played now for the goal scorer, Bennett, looking to shoot low. Gets fended off. Down for Young. Young will fire through a couple of screens there, and it's saved by Jacob Flooney.
Again, that shot was released pretty much where they had luck last time down and scored, but again, those are tough sledding if you're going to try 35-footers all night long.
Morrison, back for Moran. Sundown. Sundown trying to find his angle. Over back for Morrison. Morrison for Moran. Carter right into the shin pad there. And they're going to say that's an in and out, and Owen Sound will get back to possession. Ball will start in the corner, and it will be Laycock to begin it. Right for Moran. Moran up for Sly. Sundown will scoot and have no defender in front. Good save there by Tomic, but retrieved by Moran. Moran will come off 2 screens. Gives it off for Tyson Morrison. Morrison looking for a pass, never had one. Up for Moran. Moran will fire it into the netting again, and save there by Tomic. Stickland will pass it right through the stick, but did retrieve there by Josh Brophy, and Brophy will play it. Offer some of his offensive weapons. Bebeau. Over for Stern. Back for Bebeau. Bebeau got it whacked out of his stick and now forced into the boards hard. That ball's going to escape, and Young can never get a hold of it. And not even enough to whack it into the defense or offensive zone. So now Owen Sound will start with it at about mid-floor.
Yeah, good defense by Owen Sound there. Again, they're maintaining their good job, controlling that perimeter.
Hutchinson bounces it for Carter. Moran over now for Morrison. Morrison walked into that one, and a good save there by the netminder. Traps it in the restricted area, and will play it off for one of his defenders to go. You mentioned it though, Steve, that the Raiders like to play around the perimeter. They're very spaced out. By choice, too, not necessarily by the defense kind of playing them out that far. As they're going to have to fire here with about 2 left in the shot clock. That one bounced and does not make it anywhere near Jacob Flooney. Hot off the glass and retrieved there by McVicker.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty hard to rely just on the athletic ability to beat one defender to create a scoring opportunity. They're going to have to play a little more team unison here, and if they want to have any kind of success in the offensive end.
Morrison takes a whack, plays it over now. Hutchinson, Cole Hutchinson. Nate for Laycock. Laycock will fire that one, good save. Morrison retrieved it right off the netminder. Now back shot, scores! Top corner for Cole Hutchinson.
Yeah, Hutchinson did a good job taking his man out high and then beating him, even though he shot probably a little bit off from the onto the right side of the floor there. He certainly let it go top corner, and you know, as everybody collapsed in, he was able to walk right into the shooting lane and let her go.
The guy who's had probably one of the slower starts here on the junior North Stars team. He's only got 4 points in 4 games, and as a guy who's been pretty prolific at the U17 level, that does surprise me a little bit, but as you mentioned, it does take some time to kind of get used to playing against some of the older competition here at the Jr.B level. As Holden Stevenson plays it over for Carter Moran. Moran will fire, it scores! And Carter Moran gets himself on the goal-scoring sheet, making it 5-1.
Again, Owen Sound's done a good job moving the ball, creating some 2-on-2 situations. Again, you got Holden Stevenson comes in here, just draws down low, goes to the net, gives Moran the opportunity to take the guy over the top, and nice shot inside the post.
Now, the Raiders have used quite a few guys in the dot here tonight that I've seen so far. Joey Young's been in there. Liam McGolf is going in now. Elliot Thompson is, if he isn't the only face-off taker. I'm not sure who the other one would be. As that one is again won by Elliot Thompson. Thompson plays it over now. Looking for an angle there is Ryan Craney. Craney will take a couple bumps for the trouble. Played out for Elliot Thompson, but...
Yeah, he had to put the grab on him, though, so Owen Sound will go to their first power play here.
I thought they were calling Thompson on being on the ball being inside the crease when he caught it, but no, you're right there, Steve. They call a minor there on Welland. Jacob Cook will take the 2 or less for holding. So with 5:57 left here in the first period, we'll see the Owen Sound Jr.B North Stars first power play of their home schedule. And right now on the floor for Owen Sound is Moran, Sundown. Looks like Laycock, Morrison, and then Elliott Thompson. As Moran takes the screen from Sundown, that ball whistled off the post, I believe. There is no reset, however, so I must be mistaken as Flooney plays it forward now for Laycock. 8 seconds left here to play. Moran may just have to fire from a mile away. Plays it down now. What a shot there by Thompson, and they'll get the reset. Moran, Sundown. Moran. Laycock will little past the parcel there. Moran, back for Laycock. Laycock will fire it. It's deflected before it ever gets away, but it will stay in play.
2 minutes for holding.
As over now for Moran. Moran will fire. Out one off the net minor, not a play, so Owen Sound will keep it. Rare you get to keep a power play like this, Steve, where they get back 2 straight possessions. That ball blocked before it ever gets to Carter Moran. He does end up retrieving it. Sundown. Down low. Thompson, that's a great save there by Tomic. And Sundown will use his body to keep that in the defensive zone. 8-second rule in effect on the penalty kill. As harassed right in front of the net there are the Raiders, and the whistle will finally go. As Pryor and Doolittle mix on that one. You would have to say, Steve, very aggressive though on defense tonight have been the North Stars.
Yeah, they have.
That shot, I believe, touched by Flooney. No, it was not. It will go the other way.
Yeah, but that was a good effort there, and one of the few times they really tried to get inside and close to the net there, and it was a nice play, just couldn't quite find the net and went out of bounds.
Moran, over for Nate Laycock. About 15 seconds left here on the power play. Moran takes the screen from Stevenson. Moran puts that one wide. Played it out for Sundown, missed Sundown entirely, and they're gonna have to fire here. And Moran will, and it will miss.
Well, at the pace the goals were coming, I would have bet heavy that they would have capitalized on that first power play opportunity, but not to be the case. A couple big saves, and
especially for how long they held the ball there, Steve. They had quite a few. They had a full minute on the power play in the offensive zone.
Yeah, did a good job on recovering loose balls and extending that offensive set, but just weren't able to find the right look.
And that ball gets whacked away, and that's all Ryan Cranny, and Cranny's on the break. Cranny in! Good save there by Tomic, but off the netminder.
No, he pounded that one in through the floor and wide, too.
Yeah, he pounded that one through the pavement. I thought that did take a touch off Tomic. I am mistaken.
He's just trying to juice up his goaltending stats there, that save percentage. So
trying to help it out, Played in for Young, who got met a couple of times there by a couple different orange shirts, as that's caught by McVicker, and McVicker will now go on the rush. McVicker will fire, it scores!
No. They're going to call the other Owen Sound player who put in the crease.
Yeah, they're going to call Ethan Kerr, and Kerr takes his frustration out in one of the green shirts in his way.
And that's hard to believe there was no interference call on that. I mean, it was a cross check to the front of the chest with a player that did not have the ball.
Nice run in there, better save by Flooney. Flooney goes to play it, and we'll give it off. Holden. Wes Grant will walk his way into the offensive zone. Grant will fire it across. Played now for Laycock. Laycock right off the shoulder there. As Brock McElboyle was trying to make a mad dash off, and now he'll stay. Laycock, who got stuck behind the net with it. Laycock will fire that one, whistled wide. Picked back up by Hutchinson. Moran. Over now for McElboyle. Back now for Laycock, and Laycock! Third time's the charm as Laycock gets himself on the board, and it's 6-1.
Yeah, an outstanding little flip pass there as he faked the shot, drew both defenders in, and Laycock made no mistake. But again, a little swing pass by Moran. Everything comes up top, little pick on the back. And Laycock goes to the net, receives the pass, and buries. So really well executed play.
Well mentioned, Steve, I talked about in the opening there about the lack of goal distribution on the North Star side. But they have 6 different goal scorers here tonight. They're going to call the false start there on Joey Young, so Owen Sound will get a free possession here off the faceoff. Even though I don't think they've lost one yet tonight, as Sundown gives it off there for Morrison. Morrison down for Hutchinson. Hutchinson trying to find a screen there. Can't really get open now off for Sundown. Sundown tried to swim through. Got 8 left to shoot here. Morrison will fire. That one whistled wide, and it misses everybody, and it will go right back on his netminder. As Foodie's now got to leave it. Again, we'll mention we're back here in Durham tomorrow afternoon when the Orangeville Northmen make their way to play the Jr.B North Stars. 2 p.m. start for that one tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. As that shot whistled wide and will scoot, and it's going to get picked up, I thought, by Pryor, but he overran it. The Galt now played it over. Trying to escape there was Owen Miller. That shot blocked right off the foot there of Nolan McVicker, who will limp off. Shot clock's going to go, so it will be Owen Sound's possession.
Yeah, they had a 4-on-3 opportunity there in transition. And again, just unable to find the open man and settled for that perimeter shot. It gets blocked and eats up the rest of the 30-second clock.
Moran, Morrison, Laycock. Back for Carter. The one-timer, I believe, was saved there by Tomic. If it wasn't, it was by the net. As Moran almost ran out of real estate when he fired, which is why he had to quick release it. He had no chance to even attempt to hold it. Bennett. Played across, trying to get in front, but never got it into a shooting angle. That ball whacked away and then picked up, and that's Elliot Thompson, who is one of the bigger guys on this North Star team. Kerr will now run into the offensive zone. About 8 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Moran. Back for Sundown. Moran for Laycock. Laycock trying to fight through some contact, gonna have to fire regardless, and he'll never get it away, and he'll take his whacks for his trouble.
Yeah, sometimes Nate has the tendency to get the blinders on when he gets the ball close to the net, and at that point he had 3 on him. Somebody's got to be open, but he was tied up and couldn't move the ball.
And that will be the first period. 6-1 after 1 in favor of Owen Sound, as they look to get their 4th win of the season and keep pace with Elora and Cambridge.
Yeah, it was a good up and down period. I mean, I don't think Welland was grossly outplayed to a 6-1 score here, but they just haven't been able to penetrate the Owen Sound defense and settling for a lot of perimeter stuff, and thus one goal on their side, where Owen Sound has been very methodical in picking apart the Welland defense on a number of opportunities, getting inside and getting great looks and capitalizing. Because the goaltending from Welland's made a lot of big saves already tonight.
You definitely cannot blame Alexander Tomic for the 6-1 score line. He's probably a big reason why it's not going to be 10 or 11-1, you could say, in fairness to Owen Sound.
Yep, he has not let a bad goal in. He's faced a lot of rubber after 20 minutes, and he's going to likely continue, and he'll have to continue to make saves if Welland has any hope of kind of climbing back into this thing.
That is for sure. Now you'll get a chance, coming back from the break, here on Rogers TV, my interview with Joey Young of the Welland Raiders, but stay tuned for that here on Rogers TV.
Hi, I'm David Shearman, host of Politically Speaking on Rogers TV. Join me this fall for more interviews with our local, provincial, and federal politicians. Politically Speaking on Rogers TV.
Hi there, my name is Tracy Hinchberger, and I represent the Kincardine District Chamber of Commerce. I hope you will join us for our next segment of Chamber Chat on Rogers TV, a fascinating behind-the-scenes look at some of our member businesses. You'll learn more about local special events, restaurants and retail, not-for-profit organizations, and services in this community. Check out our schedule at www.rogerstv.com for more information. I can't wait to chamber chat with you soon.
As I looked upon the battlefield in front of me, a German star shell lit up the desolate landscape. I watched as a bullet smashed through the bridge of my nose and left me to the mercy of the darkness. I worried I would be dependent on others for the rest of my life. But Sir Arthur Pearson and the staff of St. Dunstan's had other plans. With their help, I knew I could be self-reliant, and I wanted to bring this idea home to Canada. I wanted Canadians to know that we could hold jobs, that we could contribute, that regardless of sight, all would read, that we, the blind, would shape our own lives, our own destiny.
Blinded by a sniper's bullet in 1915, Edwin A. Baker went on to co-found the Canadian National Institute for the Blind, shaping a path forward for the blind across Canada for generations to come.
RTV Sports Wrap every Wednesday as myself, Spencer Byers, and our esteemed panel talk about everything you need to know going on in football, basketball, baseball, hockey, and soccer as we joust about what's going on in sports, keeping you up to date on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the Durham Community Center. Spencer Byers alongside me, Joey Young of the Welland Jr.B team. Joey, you're leading your team right now in scoring. What has that been like for you to begin the year?
Nah, it comes with moving the ball, moving as a team. We're trying to get the offense focused. I'm not really worried about scoring goals right now or getting points. I'm just trying to get the team rolling, just to get us on the board for a win. So I'm trying to help the team out and get more points for them, not really of me.
Well, obviously, as you kind of mentioned there, you guys have not gotten your first win, 0-6 to start the year. Obviously, tough start, but with that, you come in against this Owen Sound team who's 3-2. Every game's a new chance to get that first win. What do you feel like is the big key to get that first one on the board for you guys?
We cannot get lazy. We got to get back on defense real quick. Like, the offense has to get back. It's all about movement. We cannot sit still. If we sit still, nothing's going to happen. So, that's basically it.
Well, Joey, my last question here for you is against Owen Sound tonight. What do you feel like the big key is to get a win against the North Stars?
Shoot with confidence. This team is not very fast around the perimeter. I already watched a couple tapes. So we just got to shoot with confidence, set hard picks, roll off, hopefully get a couple goals from there.
All right, thank you so much, Joey Young of Welland. Good luck.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back after this on Rogers TV.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Good luck.
Hi, I'm Lynn from Third Eye View, and welcome to a brand new season that we're looking forward to. We have some return guests and some brand new guests. And in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your summer, stay safe.
It's time to get a little messy.
Thursdays, Top Chef heads north.
Welcome to Toronto. Woo!
And when the competition hits Canada,
Poutine. They're here to fight for over $500,000.
A lot of dough on the line, right?
There are no apologies allowed.
Am I missing one? Oh my God. Woo!
Sorry, not sorry.
My job's not done until I win.
Can I compete?
Top Chef, all new, Thursdays at 9 on Bravo.
This is a brain in urgent need of mental health care. But because 3 out of every 4 Indigenous people experience racism in healthcare, she may not get the help she needs. Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
Hi, I'm Carol Merton, host of HealthLink on Rogers TV. HealthLink connects home, community, and healthcare with interesting topics and speakers about your health and your community.
And welcome everyone back here to the Durham Community Center. Spencer Byers alongside me, Steve McCarthy, and 6-1 after one for the North Stars. Steve, obviously the first period you could say expected, definitely wanted, and with the weekend needing some wins here tonight, it's been a good start for them here against Welland.
Yeah, I mean, statistically, you look at an 0-6 team coming into a home opener here in Owen Sound, you would expect that this might be the case, although Welland, again, didn't look to be outclassed with respect to skill-wise, but Owen Sound did a great job on offense, really moving the ball well, moving their feet, a lot of work off ball, and created a lot of scoring opportunities, and they buried, and Welland, on the other hand, has not done a very good job on the offensive end outside of perimeter play.
I honestly think, Steve, you could argue with the Owen Sound perspective on offense. I think they've kind of struggled at times to get near the net. Nate Laycock obviously has been doing a pretty good job of getting towards the net, but I think they should probably try to get downhill a little bit more, and I think that would give them some really good success, especially with a guy like Sly Sundown.
Yeah, and I think just with their ball movement, that's creating situations where they are able to get inside. I mean, defenders are either ball watching, losing their guy. Owen Sound does a good job running some backdoor picks and then finding the guy coming off that pick to go to the net. So, yeah, if they continue that, unfortunately for Welland, the score might get run up a little.
Well, second period coming up next here in OLA, Jr.B, Lacrosse on Rogers TV.
Hi, I'm Carol Merton, host of We All Belong, Our Neighbors, Our Community, a new Rogers TV series promoting the diversity of our community in Grey County. Please join me on Rogers TV.
Hi, I'm Ian Boddy, Mayor of the City of Owen Sound. Whether it's improving our parks, fixing roads, or planning our future for the city, it impacts all of us. Please tune in on Monday nights at 5:30 to Rogers TV or owensound.ca to become informed. Your support and your knowledge and your feedback is important to us, and having the knowledge of what's going on is really important and the first step.
Sports is life. It's clear cut. Everything's out in the open. There's nowhere to hide. I had to prove myself more than anyone else.
You must be so proud of your son. He's gonna go pro. The sky's the limit.
There's always a winner and a loser.
You cannot reach the sky in broken cleats.
Of course, I always want to be the winner. And I did reach the sky.
Norman Kwong, the first Chinese-Canadian professional football player, still holds records to this day. He retired from the sport in 1960 and later became Lieutenant Governor of Alberta.
Hi, I'm David Shearman, host of Politically Speaking on Rogers TV. Join me this fall for more interviews with our local, provincial, and federal politicians. Politically Speaking on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the Durham Community Center. Second period about to be underway. 6-1 after one in favor of the Owen Sound North Stars over the Welland Raiders. Spencer Byers alongside me, Steve McCarthy, and Steve, 6 different goal scorers for Owen Sound so far tonight, and helping out the stat sheets for everybody. And Welland at 0-6 have got to find a way here to get themselves back in this one, but Owen Sound obviously looking to do the exact opposite and pull away and make sure they stay away.
Yeah, well, if Owen Sound continues to play the way they have on offense, sharing the ball, nobody getting caught with it in their stick too long, they'll not likely give up a lot of transition opportunities where Welland might have an opportunity because they do have some athletic guys.
Nice pass in front and making a quick goal here. 11 seconds into the second frame. Cole Hodgson gets his second of the game. 7-1 as 27 gets back on the board.
Yeah, and again, you'll just see Owen Sound does a good job driving the ball deep. Little pick down there, create some room and a nice cut towards the net and wide open with nobody on him.
Again, I mentioned it earlier, Cole Hutchinson only has 4 points in 4 games coming into tonight. That's already 2 goals on his stat sheet getting added. Elliot Thompson won that faceoff, but right into the hand there of a Raider. It's Ben Bartley. Has played up now for Panucci.
And number 21, Elliot Thompson.
Played a little low, but kept there by the Raiders. Played in front, it missed the open man, and Ryan Cranny will pick it up and move it forward.
A good
Grant, what a pass in front! Moran, better save there by Tomic. Pardon my interruption there of you, Steve.
No, that's quite all right. It's just things are moving too fast. My comment was 3 plays too late, so we'll pick it up where the ball left off.
Well, a minute in, Steve, this Owen Sound team looks better. And then maybe that is with the Raiders giving them quite a few opportunities here, but Owen Sound looks to be in another gear here in this second frame. Only a minute in is Sundown. Over now for Moran. Moran, forward for Laycock. Laycock passes it down for Sundown. He's again able to get it on target, but never able to pick back up the ball. They're saying it didn't touch Tomic, which does somewhat surprise me. Bounce now for Morrison. Morrison over for Laycock. Laycock back for Morrison, but Morrison couldn't catch it. And that's going to be the shot clock.
Yeah.
Couple really good looks there for Owen Sound, but nothing coming. As Morrison playing a little bit of a harasser there. Pryor as well. Played forward now here by the Raiders. Pass, and again, just can't seem to catch. There is away will go Owen Sound. McVicker.
Yeah, I made a wise decision there on his wrong side to just pull it out, let the offense get on the floor and set something up here.
Moran. For McElmoyle. Trying to get back for Laycock. It bounced and easily caught there by Tomic.
Yeah, that was a tough pass. He attempted, he really kind of pushed it, tried a little underhand flip and couldn't get anything on it. Best to just pull it back and utilize your regular throwing motion there. There's a long distance to try to travel on a flip pass.
That pass does get finally to a green shirt, and that's their first shot of the period, about a minute, 2.5 minutes in.
And again, the encouraging side on there for Welland, the 2 offensive sets they've had now, they've attempted to get that ball inside closer to the net. So whether it's by fluke or by design, that's what they're going to need to do if they want to chip away at this lead.
Moran just let one go, and he let it go off the glass and out of play. As aggressive there is Jesse Doolittle, who's really fending off the attacker there. He's Stern. That shot does get on Flooney, but better save as slowly up to the feet will go Braden Steern. Lemon over for Laycock. Laycock waiting for the last offensive option to get on the floor, and Hutchinson does. Down for Moran. Ran across the top, deflected and caught by a defender. Morrison, though, trying to whack it away. Did for the second. As running into quite a few orange shirts there are the Raiders. Finally given off, but that ball missed the intended target. And away will come Carter Moran. Quickly up for Lemon. Big Vicker off the post. But right back into the waiting arms there of another North Star. And it's Chase Garvey this time will hand it off to Tyson Morrison. Morrison gets the screen from Laycock, has Laycock, never was able to get it to him there. Sundown tried to, and that ball will bounce and finally find the stick there of a Raider. Panucci gets forced into the boards there. Grant and Kerr are the ones they're fighting in the corner. And it comes away by the third man in the scrum there, in Elliot Thompson. Thompson plays it up for Wes Grant. Grant down for Moran. Laycock bounced it, and that goes off the feet there of McElmoyle. 10 seconds left here on the shot clock. McElmoyle for Sly Sundown. Sundown will fire and score! Sly Sundown gets his second of the game, makes it 8-1.
Yeah, and that just goes to show you the range he has on his shot. I mean, that was probably a 40, 45 footer, and got a lot of leverage from that 6'6" frame. And I'm not sure if that went 5-hole or not, but he certainly got it on net and behind the goaltender in a big hurry.
And wait, are they doing a goalie change?
Looks like they're going to have a goalie change, but I don't think this has anything to do with how well or poorly the goaltender's played. He's faced a lot of rubber. Had a tough start here to the second period, but you know, he certainly has earned a little bit of a breather here because Owen Sound has been relentless, and rather than chasing the score upwards with some individual play, they continue with great team play, great ball movement, and creating opportunities, even off broken plays. And as a result, you know, they're continuing piling it on here.
Flooney went for a quick water break as Caius Lalonde came in, or Lalonde came in there for Welland, as you mentioned there, as Alexander Tomic will now take the seat. You see there on your screen of the Owen Sound division and now into the Welland division.
Elliot Thompson again dominates here on the draw, and he is
And a quick shot there.
Nice
And that was
test.
Ryan Cranny trying to test that netminder early. Good first save by Caius. The Raiders bounce that one by, and Pryor might be the first one there. Actually, that may be a lie as it bounces right into the waiting arms of Calder Adams. Did he hit the netminder there, Steve, or did he bounce into the pavement?
I thought that went off his elbow of the goaltender, but...
And now away will come the Raiders, as Owen Sound really never got a chance to handle that one after the Calder Adams rush. That shot right into the wickets there of Flooney. Flooney fires it, and it goes right into the stick there, Nolan McVicker. McVicker on the rush again, and that's another good save by Lalonde. And a met there right at the entrance of the Raiders bench. Picked back up there by Wes Grant. Missed Sundown, and it bounces right into the waiting arms of a defender. We'll make a correction. On my sheet, it says A. Steve's sheet, it says E. We're going to go with Lalonde. So Caius Lalonde makes the save for Welland. Looking to fire there, never ends up getting a look at the net. Trying to swim around. That one passed. I thought also was going to go on target. Flooney kind of flinched like it was. That one saved, and right, I thought, into the stick there, but whistle will go, and it will go the way of the Raiders again, so they'll get another free possession.
Yeah, much better ball movement here by the Raiders.
Behind the back shot there by Young, just couldn't get it on target. Trying to run away there was Legault. That shot by Young misses Flooney, and Flooney did make a sprawl to make an attempt at it. Running out to play it is Lalonde, who will just fire it away, and that will be the shot clock.
Yeah, and there's a heads-up play by the goaltender, too. Not trying to force something up the middle of the floor, but just get it to an area where it's not going to hurt you. Get that change, get your D out on the floor.
Morrison for Laycock. Back for Sundown. Sundown will fire that one just wide. Misses Morrison, who will run for it. Flooney will come out to just kind of palm it to Tyson Morrison. 8 left here to shoot. Fired there for Laycock. Laycock gonna try to get towards the net. Gonna have to fire regardless. That one on to Lalonde, who will make the save.
Didn't look like he got a lot on that shot, but it was a little bit of a Off speed and almost fooled the goaltender there.
Sticklin now. Gave it off there to Bebeau. That shot right on Flooney with the save. Given back. Is that one blocked? That shot again missed Flooney. And that's gonna go all the way down to the Raiders' end. It's gonna be a free possession here as the shot clock goes. Grant picked it up right in front of the net. Whistle will now go. That's now given off for Morrison. Morrison, back now for Sundown. Moran, Morrison, fires that one, and it's a good save by Lalonde. What can I mention? I love when Moran or Sundown pass it to the other because it's almost, I'll say, comical how diametrically opposed they are in height.
Yes, there's close to a foot differential there.
And that's just because of how big Sly Sundown is. As you mentioned, about 5'6", 6'6", says back on the board go the Raiders.
And again, a nice play, found a lane, big shot from the outside, and gets rewarded. So again, they're not totally out of this, but they're going to have to create a lot more offense than they've been able to do for the first half again.
I believe that marker will go to number 17, and it will, in Braden Steern. And you've mentioned it a couple times here, Steve, that it's definitely not a lack of skill on the Welland side of the floor. It's almost like they just haven't been able to put it together yet, especially consistently.
Yeah, they don't seem to have a plan or a system that they're looking to follow on every offensive set. They're just ad-libbing and just letting their natural ability go. So here we get an opportunity in transition.
Great transition chance. Joey Young just hits the post. Arguably beat Flooney, but didn't beat the post.
Yeah, and those are the opportunities they want to capitalize on.
That shot again deflected by Pryor, so it goes into the corner, and away will come Owen Sound. And Jesse Doolittle will take the run. Now, Owen Sound's done also a great job of getting in the shooting lanes. They've done quite a few different deflections off the body or off a stick to send balls wayward.
Yeah, they have, and again, because they haven't really had to concern themselves with picks coming up the backside or what have you, they're able to just focus on the...
What a pass in front. That was McElmoy with the attempt. I believe it was blocked in front as well. Now for Morrison. Morrison gonna have to try to fire here. He will. That one will also go wide. There's Brophy. Played forward now for the most recent goal scorer, but it's now for the other goal scorer there in Callan Bennett. Millar. Millar played it back. Steeren gets that one towards the net, but not on target. Young will have to try to just whack it down, and picked up by Owen Sound here. Lemon. One of the 4 APs dressed tonight. We'll give it off to Laycock. Played for Moran, that ball whacked and taken by the Raiders. That ball played in front. Good chance for the Raiders on, well, I'd say basically transition. That ball again played towards the net. Legault missed his intended target though, and racing down the floor is Marcus Gardner-Patak, who should beat that ball to the net. He does, so a chance here for Owen Sound to get back to work on offense. Played back now. That shot deflected in front. Gardner-Patak picked it back up, and again, we'll get it off to Carter Moran. From what Michael Harris has said, Gardner-Patak, a former track athlete at OSDSS, definitely showing off the speed there.
Yeah, Owen Sound has a number of defenders that have real good feet, real fast speed. They're able to transition the ball up, and they don't get beat when on one-on-one situations very often either when speed is involved.
Moran comes off the top. That one right into the chest protector there. Sundown gets a hold of it. Moran scores. Moran's second of the night. And it's now 10-2.
And the Sundown should get an assist here. I think the body kind of careened off his body here off the initial shot. It probably was never in his stick. Nonetheless, he kept it alive there just when the goalie attempted to try to play it outside the crease, and Moran had the second opportunity and made sure he buried.
We'll mention, Steve, even though all the guys who have scored in this period are getting their seconds of the game, they're all, again, different goal scorers than the previous in the period.
Yeah, again, sometimes the tendency is in a game that starts to look like a lopsided nature, you get guys looking to pad their stats and get a little selfish. But so far, so good for Owen Sound. They've been sharing the ball and always looking for a teammate to move it to if they have a better look. And this is something they want to continue to do because you want to make sure you're playing that game in a 6-7 game rather than a 10-2 game as well. So
Moran gets that one on target. Lalonde does make the save. We'll mention that poor Sly Sundown was getting fought with there by Jacob Cook, and I assume it's just a guy trying to keep him in front, which is not easy to do. This period has gone rather quick, I would say, Steve, in the previous. I'd also have to say the player intros probably help with that, as that's a good save by Flooney. Ball will carry him right to Ryan Cranny, who will race up the floor. Cranny did lose it, and wasn't able to make any more contact. Bennett looking to fire, nice pass, but miss Young.
yeah, he probably waited just a little bit too long to let that pass go. He was probably in a better situation to shoot early, and because Young and all kind of crossed his side of the floor and was tied up trying to reach for that.
8 seconds off from the shot clock here for the green shirts. Young, nice move. That save by Flooney. Whistle will finally go there. With the extra shove to Ryan Cranny. That ball pass for Moran. What a pass! Good save by the netminder. Grant shot, and Grant gets himself on the board for his first of the night.
Yeah, just Johnny on the spot there, running in transition, following up on Carter Moran's shot. He was there to pick up the rebound, and the goaltender was just not in the same kind of position he wanted to be, and he went cross-hand, little twister, far side down low. Not an easy shot with that tight space to accomplish, and he did it well for a guy that doesn't have super slick hands.
Wes Grant, his second goal of the season for the defender. Face-off won again by Elliot Thompson, but that time it hit the referee. As now Ethan Currow chug it into the offensive zone. Right, got that one in front, and finally, Flooney gets beat. That one 5-hole, and Jack Millar will get himself on the board.
I mean, this was a well-executed two-man game. However, the pick that came on the back of the Owen Sound player was aggressive, to say the least. A little bit of a frustration after he had been hauled down earlier in the play, and they let it play on, and he was a recipient of a little pass after the pick, and able to bury, going to the net nice. And again, this is the type of play that's been lacking in their game. And the few times that they've attempted to it, they've created some scoring opportunities. So
that was a Millar connection there. Owen Millar with the assist, while Jack Millar got the goal. And Sundown over now for Morrison. Morrison takes the screen. He'll fire in. Tyson Morrison gets back on the board. Quick response by the North Stars there.
And again, real nice pick. Nice shot coming across the top. Kept his feet moving and goes under glove, far side. And that's a tough place for a goaltender to reach to, and he's got to move his feet to get there, and his feet couldn't move as quick as the ball in that case.
Thompson trying to get a hold of that one. Ball still loose on the floor somehow, and now finally picked up by the Raiders.
Ethan Kerr. And number 21, Elliot Thompson.
Brophy gets it over for Steer. Going for the shot there. That one whistle wide, and it's going to bounce 200 feet. Lalonde over there for Steer. Steer will just fire it down the other way. Trying to make Owen Sound go the long way, and that will be what happens, as Grant will pick it up. Grant. Played over now for Laycock. McElmoyle. Over now for Moran. Moran back for Brock McElmoyle. Now in front for that looked to be Hutchinson. Missed the intended target though, Moran. And that one is saved by Lalonde. Unsuredly, but saved nevertheless. Nice move there by the Raiders. That shot saved by Flooney. Jack Millar.
Yeah, and again, real nice drive to the net, good footwork, and gave himself a real good look there. Flooney made a big save.
About a minute left here in the second frame. Morrison will fire that one, saved. Panucci play that one through two different orange sticks as it gets to his recipient. That shot wide. That shot again wide. There, the player who just caught it in front of Flooney's net. And a timeout will be taken by Owen Sound. 19.2 seconds left here in the second frame. 12-3 in favor of Owen Sound. As they look to try to get one more here in this second period.
Yeah, I'm going to guess they're just kind of looking for a coaching moment here in a 12-3 game. You certainly don't need to call a timeout. You probably could have run a play from the bench with that kind of time left, but this gives them an opportunity to bring the goalie out and work on a little 6-on-5 play that might come in handy maybe tomorrow versus Orangeville. So
that's kind of my thought as well there, Steve. You look at the leading point getters in the Junior B division. Brendan Campbell of London leading the way by quite a wide margin there at 56. He did make a couple appearances last year for your MSL club here in Owen Sound, and obviously has been dominating the Junior B division this year.
Yeah, Brendan is really put it together. He had a good, strong year last year in London and has really picked up his game again. As a last-year junior, he's had a few looks at the Junior A level, and no doubt will probably get some as well this year. When I think Burlington maintains his Junior A rights at this point, but nonetheless, good to see him doing well, and we look forward to maybe using him up at the MSL level if we're ever shorthanded.
Sundown, 8 seconds left. Morrison back for Moran. Moran into the front. It just missed McElmoyle, so nothing will come of that timeout as the period ends 12-3 in favor of Owen Sound.
No, they got the look they were looking for there. Just couldn't execute, but again, it gives you a game opportunity to try something out that may come in handy later on.
Owen Sound scores 6 in the first and 6 in the second, as they are up 12-3 here after 40, as the Raiders are most likely still looking for that first win of the season after tonight.
Yes, I think safe to say 12-3 is a bit of an unsurmountable lead at this point, but again, the Welland Raiders here have worked hard all night. They certainly haven't let frustration get the best of them. They've played a clean, hard game and continue to look for their scoring opportunities. And again, in spite of the 12 goals, they've certainly had some really good goaltending. So.
And with that, we'll be right back with my interview with Carter Moran of the Owen Sound North Stars as you watch this on Rogers TV.
RTV Sports Wrap every Wednesday as myself, Spencer Byers, and our esteemed panel talk about everything you need to know going on in football, basketball, baseball, hockey, and soccer as we joust about what's going on in sports, keeping you up to date on Rogers TV.
This is a man's heart, a heart in desperate need of medical attention. But because 78% of Indigenous people experience racism in healthcare, he may not get the help he needs. Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
This year, 2 groups of veterans and 2 teams of rookies compete to renovate 4 identical houses with their own signature style.
in the ultimate neighborhood knockout. We're gonna keep things fresh.
Get down and dirty.
And bury the competition.
Rock the Buck on HGTV.
Hi there, my name is Tracy Hinchberger and I represent the Kincardine District Chamber of Commerce. I hope you will join us for our next segment of Chamber Chat on Rogers TV, a fascinating behind-the-scenes look at some of our member businesses. You'll learn more about local special events, restaurants and retail, not-for-profit organizations, and services in this community. Check out our schedule at www.rogerstv.com for more information. I can't wait to Chamber Chat with you soon.
Hi, I'm Lynn from Third Eye View, and welcome to a brand new season that we're looking forward to. We have some return guests and some brand new guests. And in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your summer, stay safe.
Alongside me, the captain of the Owen Sound North Stars, Carter Moran. Carter, another good season start for you so far in the Jr.B ranks. I guess kind of what do you feel like's led to your success here to begin the year?
Yeah, obviously we got our offense got even better in the offseason. We added Sly, Couples, and then our right side got even better. And we got guys like Jordan Cochran who can put the ball in the net. Cole Hutchison, a great addition. Like we just got guys that can put the ball in the net. Compared to other years, we're really loaded up front now.
I can say that for sure. You guys have had quite a few different guys getting involved here tonight alone. You have your 12 goals. Basically, everyone's been kind of sharing the ball. And I guess, what do you feel like that shows for your offense, being able to share it so much?
Yeah, it obviously helps a lot of us. Helps take the pressure off each guy. If one guy's not scoring one night, the next guy is. For example, like Nate Laycock really steps up on Sunday, takes a lot of the scoring for us. Like it helps when anyone can step up any night.
Obviously, you got Orangeville tomorrow. Don't want to look too far ahead, but obviously a big matchup against a team in your division, a team that's right behind you right now in the standings. I guess when you look at a game like Orangeville, what do you feel like is a big key for a game like that?
Yeah, obviously we want to finish this 20 off strong and lead it in tomorrow. We got a tight division this year, and Orangeville's another rivalry game. We can't take division games lightly, especially that we see them 3 times. We got to sneak one out and starts tomorrow. Luckily, we're at home.
Luckily, you're at home, and again, home opener here tonight. My last question for you would be about it. What's it like playing your first home game, even though it's not no one's down here in Durham, but obviously still got quite a few of the home crowd here behind you?
Yeah, it's definitely tough that we don't get to be in Owen Sound, but it's a great turnout here in Durham. We would like to thank Wes Gray for really showing out. This is great to see, and great that the game is really growing.
All right, thank you so much, Carter Moran of the Owen Sound North Stars. Good luck.
Thank you.
I'll be right back after this with the rest of our second intermission here on Rogers TV.
Thanks, Spencer.
Thanks, Carter.
Take care.
Hi, I'm Carol Merton, host of HealthLink on Rogers TV. HealthLink connects home, community, and healthcare with interesting topics and speakers about your health and your community.
We invite you to play What's My Line?
Welcome, Mrs. Baker. Those folks over there need to guess your extraordinary occupation.
Are you an entertainer, Mrs. Baker?
Yes.
Do people come to watch you, perform?
Yes.
Do you travel for work?
Yes, I do.
Do you ever wear a special type of costume?
Yes.
Is your job, physical?
Yes, indeed.
Are you a member of a team?
Yes.
Are you a professional baseball player?
Yes, I am.
Created during the Second World War, the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League included 68 Canadians. One of its brightest stars was my mother, Saskatchewan's Mary Bonnie Baker, a pioneer for women in sports.
Hi, I'm Carol Merton, host of We All Belong, Our Neighbors, Our Community. a new Rogers TV series promoting the diversity of our community in Grey County. Please join me on Rogers TV.
Me here, Steve McCarthy, and Steve, obviously a great first two periods here by Owen Sound. Carter kind of mentioned it there, that their offense has been very spread out, very balanced here tonight, which is something they hope to continue, especially with, you could say, the additions of Sly Sundown especially.
Yeah, and I think it's just important for them to get confidence levels up on all their offensive players. You know, they've always kind of looked at Carter Moran to lead the way, and you know, to be able to spread it out the way they have tonight is encouraging, because there'll be nights when Carter gets shut down, and they'll need some contributions from some other players.
Nate Laycock, as he also mentioned, also has been very good tonight, and he continues to get physical and towards the net, but we'll have to see if that continues in this third and most likely final period. But for Steve and myself, Spencer, come on back to the third and potentially final period here on Rogers TV.
Hi, I'm David Shearman, host of Politically Speaking on Rogers TV. Join me this fall for more interviews with our local, provincial, and federal politicians. Politically Speaking on Rogers TV.
Hi, I'm Ian Boddy, Mayor of the City of Owen Sound. Whether it's improving our parks, fixing roads, or planning our future for the city, it impacts all of us. Please tune in on Monday nights at 5:30 to Rogers TV or owensound.ca to become informed. Your support and your knowledge and your feedback is important to us, and having the knowledge of what's going on is really important in the first step.
In hockey, only one name transcends the game. It's not Gordy, the great one, or the great eight. Not a Bobby or a Bob. Not Sid the Kid or this kid either. And it's not Connor, and no, not even that Connor. The one name that rises above all others is Stanley.
Lord Stanley.
With clubs, leagues, and courts in every province and territory across Canada, squash is the sport for wall-to-wall fun, fitness, and friendship. From coast to coast to coast. Learn to play, and you'll want to do it every day. Squash. Play inside the box.
Our TV Sports Wrap every Wednesday as myself, Spencer Byers, and our esteemed panel talk about everything you need to know going on in football, basketball, baseball, hockey, and soccer as we joust about what's going on in sports, keeping you up to date on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the Durham Community Center. 12-3 in favor of the Owen Sound Stars over the Welland Raiders in the home opener of the Owen Sound season. Spencer Byers alongside me, Steve McCarthy, and Steve, the balanced offense has been a big key for Owen Sound tonight, and they could really use that tomorrow in their showdown with the Northmen at 2 p.m.
Yeah, I mean, that'll no doubt be a big test tomorrow, and but again, I think the good habits they've demonstrated here tonight should carry over into tomorrow against a far more polished foe.
In fairness, though, to Orangeville, they've only played 3 games. They're 2-1 right now on the season in a division where the undefeated Cambridge and an undefeated Elora. So, obviously, for Orangeville's sake, they want to get more games played because they don't want the Elora Hawks to get any farther away. As you see there on your screen, with the Highlanders as well, because getting out to those bigger or early season wins, knocking those out of the way, because again, I think you could easily argue the worst you're going to look is the beginning of the year, trying to get guys back in game shape, trying to get guys back from school or what have you. So being 6-0 and 4-0 respectively gets you an advantage on even the Northmen and Owen Sound right now.
Yeah, again, it's hard to say, not really having a clear understanding of who they played, since I didn't study up on those two teams. And, you know, I mean, Elora, no matter who they're going to play, they're going to be a tough
And they somehow beat their second period goal of 11 seconds with roughly 6. They make it 7 on the official score sheet as Elliot Thompson scores from the faceoff dot.
Yeah, he kind of bumps it ahead. He never really has clear possession of it until he walks by almost a cross-handed shot and finds his way into the back of the net. So the sea certainly parted ways there for him, and it was push that ball all the way down inside the restraining line before he actually collected it, and a little flick of the wrist, and we have ourselves a goal.
So that's probably Thompson's first clean loss of a faceoff, as Owen Sound gets back possession. And it's Carter Moran with possession now. Moran. Now for Tyson Morrison, back for Carter Moran. Moran in, that's a good save, and just couldn't get a hold. That one was Holden Stevenson, but picked back up by Nate Laycock. Moran. Over now to Maus McElmoyle. Just couldn't catch that one, was Holden Stevenson, and away is gonna go Alora. It's a break in, good save there by Flooney. That attempt might look like by Hunter Hidalgo.
Fans, it's time to announce the winning number for tonight's 50-50. The winning 50-50 number, 101.
As Bennett, who got the first goal of the night for the green shirts, passed that one over. Kerr trying to force Millar, the most recent scorer, away. Millar gives it off. There to Bibeau. Bibeau played it down there for Bennett. Bennett gets it on target, and I thought, yes, he does get the carom. So Bennett now back for Jack Millar. Trying to shake there was Owen Millar. He's now going to lane towards the net. Millar right on target, but a save by Flooney.
Yeah, that's a tough angle to kind of beat Flooney from there, and a lot of running around for not much to show for it on that offensive set.
Kerr will give it off to Holden Stevenson. Stevenson trying to do some work here himself. He'll get that one whacked out of his stick and be picked up there by the Raiders. That ball does come loose again, but not retrieved there by Cranny. And now forcing the boards, and Tyson Morrison and Ryan Cranny met on that one. Ball still loose, picked up by Morrison here as he'll play it, I thought, back. No, he'll just run. And Morrison able to bring it into the offensive zone. He'll now wait up for Sly Sundown and the rest of the North Stars offense to make their way onto the floor. Moran. Back for Laycock. Over for Cranny. Moran just caught it. Gonna have to fire here. That one right into the net of Caius Lalonde. Met by Moran, who is a transition player, at least listed on the stat sheet as so. As Longboat got that one fished away. As now Moran will get a chance.
The last two opportunities in transition, Welland has turned it over on a double team, so they're going to want to move that ball across the floor once they get the opportunity.
That ball got airmailed past Stevenson. Retrieved in front for Laycock. Good opportunity there. Nice pass from Cole Hutchinson. But now away will come the Raiders. No double this time, so they're able to get it up clean. Stickland gave it off to Joey Young. Young. Played over, he may get it back, he will. Young will fire, and I'm not sure if that took a deflection, Steve, but it finally did hit Flooney and went out of play.
We're going to have a penalty here to Owen Sound, a little slashing call. They didn't catch the number there, but...
Looks to be, I'd want to guess 27, but I'm not 100% sure. Actually, maybe 17. You know what? I'm going to stop guessing. I think I have no idea who that is. I think I see a 7. And
we're going to hear who it is, yeah.
It's Cole Hutchinson. I thought it was 27 Cole Hutchinson.
You did.
I was just surprised he was out there on defense, which is what kind of caught me off guard. This is the first power play, might I add, for the away side, as that ball was whistled wide and well out of play as it goes right into the roof.
Again, a nice looking shot from the outside there, but he went far corner down low underneath the glove and just missed. And anything off of that angle is going to be tough to keep in the building when it comes off the boards of the glass.
As Morrison now with possession. All offensive guys on the floor right now for Owen Sound. As Sundown, Morrison, Laycock, and Moran are patrolling here for Owen Sound. Sundown over for Laycock. Laycock gonna try to swim around. He will, and that one whacked into his stick before he could get the fire away, but they do chew up about 30 seconds of the penalty kill there for Owen Sound.
Yeah, nice individual effort there by Nate Laycock. Again, he was given the opportunity to get down low. He came underneath and created a scoring chance and just had his stick clipped as he went to release the ball.
Back for Young. Young will fire, and that one got blocked. And it was blocked by, surprisingly, Carter Moran. Over now, 3 to shoot. That one also blocked. That one by Ethan Kerr, and the shot clock's gonna go.
Again, that's tough when you're on the power play here. They've had possessions. They're probably gonna not get another opportunity and did not really get a shot on goal the entire power play.
And Ethan Kerr's just gonna go. Kerr will missile that one wide, and did it go out of play? It did, so they will get one more chance during the power play, but you can't exactly blame Ethan Kerr for taking that shot because they rolled out the red carpet for him.
Yeah, although he was on the wrong side of the floor, so you probably you could in turn just run that clock right down. Again, just trying to develop good habits in a lopsided score.
Young, back for Bennett. Bennett will fire. That's a good save by Flooney. He got kind of wedged into the corner. Everyone went golf swinging, and somebody finally made contact. Patak trying to play that one forward. It gets picked. Back to 5-on-5, however, so 0 for 1 on the man advantage now are both sides, with only 2 penalties being called. You actually mentioned it to me there in the break that there's only been 1 minor call coming into this third period.
Yeah, and a lot of times at this level you expect in a blowout that one team typically on the lower end of the score would
and what a play holding Stevenson gets himself on the board for the first time tonight, and it's a pretty one.
I think that might be his first goal of the year, and for a guy that does a lot of the heavy lifting down low with picks and working off ball, he gets rewarded here with it looks like a little swim move on a 1-on-2 situation. He gets himself underneath, just reaches around, and almost looked like he flipped that in one-handed. He was a little awkward there, but he made it count, and a great effort for a guy, again, that doesn't typically have the ball a lot on the offensive side of the things here, and usually spends most of his time working everybody else free.
That is his first goal of the season for Holden Stevenson. That ball tied up at the dot. It is finally won by Elliot Thompson, trying to retrieve it, and they finally do. And it's Zach Lemon who will run it in. Played down there for Laycock. Back for McElmoyle. It missed him, so Moran's got to go chase. As Moran plays it over for Tyson Morrison. Morrison, nice move in, will fire, and Morrison gets on the board here in the third. It's his second. Or no, pardon me, it is his hat trick. It is his third.
Yeah, and again, just a nice little delay, change of pace here. Carter Moran hits him, and he just kind of looks like he's going to fake, cuts in, and 3 defenders really waving their stick at him. No one got a piece. They weren't able to slide their feet over to cut off his lane to the net, and he made no mistake coming across the inside of the body and releasing for another goal, his third of the night.
Won again by Thompson right into Marcus Gardner-Patak's stick. Well mentioned, Steve. The Welland Raiders have allowed 17 and 19 this season. Owen Sound not too far away from that total, yet a hero of 15 with 13 minutes left in the third period. Sundown, back for Carter Moran. Moran, back for McElmoyle. McElmoyle Face it back for, looked like Laycock, who took a whack for his trouble. As Sundown's the one playing a little bit of chase here. As the Raiders finally get into the offensive zone. Bebeau played down to the corner. Played over there from Millar. Jack Millar. Down for Owen Millar. That's going to be a shot clock violation against the Raiders.
Again, the Raiders did a lot of good stuff on that possession, but it really amounted to nothing. A lot of ball movement and kept it hot, yet we're never really pressing hard to the net.
Hutchinson pressing right to the net. That's a good save as he stepped in. So it doesn't matter, but a good save by 0-0 there in the lawn. As Joey Young now will make his way into the offensive zone. All right, about the shot clock spent. Legault over from Jack Millar. Millar might just have to fire. Young, 3 seconds left to shoot. Gonna have to fire, never able to get it away. Another shot clock violation against the Raiders. That ball bounced though off of Nolan McVicker, who will run it up the floor now. McVicker, nice spin, he'll fire, believes that bounced into the pavement. It was bounced into the pavement. I don't like some of these transition and even defenders, Steve, kind of trying to take on a man here in the offensive zone.
Yeah, and again, they're just, your eyes get pretty big when you get in that close, but a lot of these opportunities are not really that good at scoring, and they're the best to, again, pull it out, let the offense go to work, and work on things that have helped them be successful so far to this point in the game tonight.
And Lemon will run it up the floor now, and he'll do exactly what you just mentioned, and he'll hand it off to Carter Moran. Back for Sundown. Moran. Morrison. Back for Sly Sundown, who will fire. That's a good save. Bounced out. Moran may have a chance at it. He does. Moran had Sundown, but again, Owen Sound's not looking for much more offense because they don't need much more offense, if any.
No, they're just going to want to run some controlled sets here, and a great look there by Sundown. He just missed the net there. It's going to go out of bounds.
Moran
nice feed from below, behind the net, and Sundown was not able to capitalize.
It was a good chance, you mentioned, though, however, that Sundown just couldn't keep it on target. As Bennett. Nice move there by McVicker. McVicker in again, and that one's a good save. Legault. That shot by Bennett right into the wickets there of Flooney. Played quickly up to Wes Grant. Grant looked to step into one. He finally will make the move and scores. Wes Grant gets his second of the night. And they're going to do a water break for both netminders as...
Yeah, nice... Again, Wes Grant was real deceptive here. He got himself in tight and pulled the ball on a little twister around short side under the glove, and that was a pretty goal in transition. Again, coach might not be happy if it doesn't go in, but he made sure that he buried in that situation.
You look here at the upcoming games for the North Stars. Home against Orangeville at 2 p.m. tomorrow. We will be live for that. Then they play the undefeated Elora Hawks here in Durham on Friday, May 16th. We'll be here for that one as well. Then they go at Orangeville, at Cambridge, and then home against Point Edward. They're on the 24th during May 2-4 long weekend.
Yeah, they got their hands full of the next 4 games. So again, it's good to see them really sticking to a game plan here tonight and not trying to run up the score on individual efforts here. They've done a good job from beginning to end. We got 9 minutes left, and I'm no doubt they'll continue the unselfish play.
Fired back now for Sundown. Hutchinson gets the screen from Sundown, tried to get it back to him, did miss him, and it was touched by Lalonde and now picked up, but their defender's gonna get harassed by 2 different North Stars. Hutchinson fired for Laycock, got it there. Laycock has Sundown, shoots it, good save by Lalonde. That's gonna be an in and out, I thought it was.
And back in, yeah, he reached outside and defender scooped it back in.
Back for Sundown from Laycock. Sundown never caught it. And that one will stay in the restricted area.
Again, it's a tough pass right in the middle of the body in that kind of tight quarters. So unless it's up where you can kind of catch and release right away, it's the best you just turn away and look to run something off the top.
Tried to fire. Bennett just never got it there. Gonna have to fire now with 2 left in the shot clock. That one whistled wide, and that will be another shot clock violation against the Raiders here. Ooh, that one missed Moran. Little high from McVicker. Morrison tries to make the move. Morrison puts that one on the lawn. Good save. Holden Stevens is the one who picks it up. Moran bounces it there for McElmoyle. Mishandled it for the second, but another chance to play it. McElmoyle over for Laycock. Laycock takes a couple bumps for his trouble, and he did end up losing it. I was not sure who's got it. It's actually the guy.
Yeah, again, that's a situation where Nate's going to want to, didn't have that first step, back it out and take a look and move that ball around. Don't try to beat 2 guys and there's nothing there.
Stickland's the one who came away with it. I thought it was at the other end where Holden Stevenson had his guy tied up. As Young sends that one wide. Bennett should be the last one there. He'll just throw it back for Young, who's going to have to fire from a mile away, and it goes wayward.
I think that might have been an attempted pass. They did have a guy loose in front of the net there, but just a little bit too late and tough to execute from that distance.
Grant for Sundown. Hutchinson walks into that one, good save, and skips out of play, so Owen Sound will keep it. Hutchinson over for McElmoyle. One of the APs, one of the 4 APs playing tonight. That ball bounced, caught. Hutchinson scores! Cole Hutchinson, another pretty one for the North Stars.
Yeah, great job corralling that loose ball and just a quick backhand rocket over the shoulder and finds the back of the net. And again, a lot of traffic there. The ball kind of bounced around. He picked it up, and again, great shot, lots on it.
Two away from matching the most goals scored on a team on Welland. 19 is the number by the London Blue Devils. One of the reasons you'd expect why Brendan Campbell is leading the league by such a wide margin. In a game where you score 19, you got to think Brendan Campbell was involved on most of those markers. Ball played across the top there for Welland. That ball whistled wide, and I thought out of play it won't be. Pryor will be the one on the run. Can Pryor pick it up? He can't. Pryor never got a hold of it, but the shot clock violation will still give Owen Sound the possession. So Pryor's effort won't go for naught, as Owen Sound will get another offensive chance here with Morrison with possession.
Yeah, that's an interesting call, considering that he did direct the ball to the goaltender, who was forced to make a save. That should have probably counted as a reset.
Some real jousting here in the off ball is picked back up here by Laycock. Laycock, back for Moran. Moran for Morrison. Nice move and a good save there by Lalonde. Ooh, tried to almost whack that one around as he went the other way by Grant there, and now rushing up the floor will go Garvey. Garvey, I think that wasn't a shot attempt, but he'll able to pick up the rebound.
Yeah, that's why some guys don't go over half very often. He was fortunate enough, though, off that attempted shot to pick up the loose ball and get them another opportunity.
Nice move by Grant. Grant did again, and West. Grant with another pretty one there, and he wipes off the shoes a second time as he was mighty close to the restricted area there for the transition West Grant.
Yeah, again, he was able to go short side. He's had, I think that's his third of the night, and they've all been very similar. Again, he's not a guy that you really look to have great hands, but hey, I think I'm wrong in that assessment. He's got quick hands, that's for sure. He's done a great job looking one way and bringing it back short side on a twister 2 or 3 times already this evening.
We'll mention that West Grant is a defender listed on the position sheet because the transition players for Owen Sound are Moran, Couples. As a way off the faceoff comes Millar. Millar could get it on target, but Owen Sound's transition players are Thompson, Moran, Cranny, I believe I saw, as well as Clagus and looks like Taylor Bennett as well. So surprisingly, Grant isn't a transition player, even though he's been really good in transition. As another marker there, it's Cole Hutchinson, as Owen Sound is now matched the most conceded by Welland so far this year at 19. As the clip on Moneyball, they're going for 20. They're going for 20. Here up 19-3.
And again, he just never kept his feet moving. He moved the ball up top. He continued to slide down and took advantage of his defender playing a little soft on him, and he found a lane, and again, catch and release, and it's in the back of the net.
North Star's goal, his 4th of the game, scored by number 27.
Ball won again there by Elliot Thompson. Been very dominant in the dot tonight. As Doolittle couldn't get that one off, and they're going to call it over and back again. So let's get back to possession.
That's a pretty tough call. That, you know, in a 19-3, pretty suspect, but nonetheless, Owen Sound won't complain.
Morrison. Nice move. Never got it to shooting angle though. For Laycock. Laycock trying to find a pass. He does now. It's Morrison. Morrison in. That one never got on target. Pounded into the pavement. Finally retrieved there by the Raiders as Foyce will make his way up the floor.
Yeah, a lot of looks on that possession, but one of the few times they've had multiple opportunities and not found the back of the net.
Or at least a shot on target. That ball's bounced into the boards. Should be picked up, and it is by Pryor. Pryor, though, missed his intended target. And the Raiders should come away with this one, and they do, but they may lose it here against the glass. It's a 3-on-1. Make that 3-on-2. Ball does come loose, and it goes right into the hands of Chase Garvey.
Yeah, Owen Sound's done a really good job of identifying opportunities to double, and in that case, triple ball handlers that had no support and really had nowhere to go.
And forcing them to the glass to give them those doubles and triples opportunities.
Yeah.
As Morrison just couldn't retrieve that one, finally does. Now for Sly Sundown, 5 to shoot. Sundown, nice move. Sundown in, and that one bounced into the pavement, not a bounce. But you can see there again with how big Sly Sundown is, even with seconds remaining in the shot clock. His long strides can get into that front of the net, lickety split.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a nice quick first step for a guy that's 6'6", and he can kind of.
Minor's gonna be called there, I think, against West Grant for, I assume, hooking or illegal cross-check, because that shot right into the chest protector there of Flooney will send high sticking, actually, will be the call against Owen Sound. And it's only the third minor of the game, the second of the period for Owen Sound, will send Welland back to the power play for what's most likely the rest of this game, here with 1:48 left in the third.
Yeah, I'm sure Welland would like to finish this up on a positive note and keep that score below 20 and see if they can't get the last goal of the game.
We'll mention that final between London and Welland was 19-4. So almost a chance to have a carbon copy here in Durham against the North Stars. That shot right into the netting there of Flooney made that one look easy off the Callan Bennett shot. That ball passed forward now to Cranny, Ryan Cranny, over for Laycock. Laycock will walk it. He's sending Cranny through. They're just going to chew up the 30 seconds here. Laycock's got 3 green shirts around him. He still got around, and that shot clock will go.
Last minute of play, brought to you by the Owen Sound Attack.
As Biveau gives it off. Across the top now. Back in front for Bennett. Bennett got a whack out of his stick, and it's picked up there in the back row by Jesse Doolittle, who's got 30 seconds to kill here on the shot clock, and I count about 7 seconds between shot clock and game clock, and that ball was airmailed by the North Star, so the Raiders will have one last possession, you'd think, here in tonight's game. And it looks like they will just wait for the last shot. Bennett will fire. That's a good save by Flooney. Ball is loose, retrieved by the Raiders, but that will be the game with one more save going to Flooney's total. 19-3 is the final. As Owen Sound have an offensive explosion. And it was an explosion not by 1 or 2 guys, but by everybody on the North Star side of the floor. A very good performance here tonight by Owen Sound, Steve, and it just makes you think of the game tomorrow against Orangeville as the Northmen will make their way here to Durham.
Yeah, I think they're going to want to replicate the same type of game they played tonight. Obviously, Orangeville will be a much sturdier opponent, but nonetheless, Owen Sound did a good job all over the floor, pressuring on defense, creating turnovers, not giving up anything, and we saw their offense do a really good job for the most part, moving the ball, not being caught in situations where they were getting doubled. They were always moving to an open guy, and 19 goals is the result.
Well, Steve, before we go, any keys you see for Owen Sound tomorrow against a very good Orangeville Northman team?
Well, again, I'm sure we'll see Miles Plater in that, and they'll always be counting on him any kind of big game they have to make sure he's playing at his best, because he can certainly do that. And again, I don't see any reason why they'd want to do anything different. They'll probably have some personnel changes with a few guys coming back in the lineup that were on suspension for tonight's game. But all in all, I think they just have to play smart at both ends of the floor, and they should get a good result.
And they should. Back to Durham, 2 p.m. tomorrow here on Rogers TV. Stay tuned for that. But for tonight, 19-3 over the Welland Raiders for the Owen Sound North Stars. A big win, their 4th win of the season, keeping them ahead of Orangeville in the Midwest Division standings. But for Steve McCarthy, myself, Spencer Byers, and the great Mark right behind the camera, we'll see you tomorrow afternoon back here in Durham, here on Rogers TV.
baseball, there's nothing more important than making it home.
George Springer has tied the game.
Doesn't matter how you get there.
It's gone!
But I do it with style.
Boy, has he got some kind of power.
And a little swagger, too.
Because no matter where you happen to be,